Hey guys, welcome back to Rhino Off-Road, and today we have Kawasaki is getting a diff locker job. You say, why? Did you blow up your diff? I in fact did not, and I don't want to. That's why we're doing this today, to see if we can't prevent that. I found online, you're probably familiar, Brute Performance. They have an upgraded diff lock. You get a shaft with that for the actuator and a shim to, it's hard to explain right here. It shims up the plate that actually shifts everything. You'll see it. Why am I doing this? Well, if you recall, or if you've seen it in my last ride video right here, I could not get that thing into diff lock in an emergency situation. And yeah, anybody that's rode, they know that sometimes just locking that diff is enough to get you out. So I was annoyed that I couldn't get it into diff lock in that kind of a situation. So let's see if we can prevent that from happening again. And well, actually, I'm greasing my bearings in here. I'm doing my regular maintenance too. So we'll take the tire off, we'll grease the bearing. I'll show you how to hang everything up out of the way. We're going to get in there, pull the CV, crack that cover off. And it's not that bad. Like, I've rebuilt diffs, I've shimmed them. I'm no stranger to what's going on in there, and hopefully by the end of this video, you won't be a stranger to the locker part of this anyway. So, I'm going to round up some tools. Let's see if we can get this going, and let's get after it. Okay guys, we are back, and we have the front end jacked up, tire off. It's, if you're fairly comfortable running tools and everything, you should be able to do this. It's not crazy complicated. There's a few little spots where it's a little technical, but, you know, but if you're uncomfortable with this, take it to your dealer, they can do it. Or a qualified shop. Now, to pull this off, obviously you got to get your tire off. That's 17 mil. This guy is 27 mil. Your axle nut. To get the caliper off that's 14. And we're going to have to undo this ball joint. That's 19. Your shock is 17. And in here, to get this case off, is all 10s. So I'll throw a little list up of what you need, and we'll go from there. But to start with, I am going to get rid of this brake caliper, and I'll show you how. Then we're going to undo this guy here, undo the shock, and get everything up out of the way. And we're well on our way. Okay, I will be back. Okay, right off the hop, we are going to get rid of this cotter pin here so we can loosen off our axle nut. So let's try to get this guy bent relatively straight. Out he comes. Now you'll want to Grab your favorite impact and 27 mil. There we go. Just like so. You got a washer behind there. Now, this part is kind of fun. No, actually not this part. We have to get this caliper off first. These hubs are extremely, insanely, crazy, stupid tight. It takes some pounding to get these hubs off of here. So, what you're gonna need is either a hard plastic dead blow hammer. I'm not sure where mine is, or just a regular dead blow hammer will do it. But for now, we will get, okay, we need our 14 right here, and one down at the bottom. Give me a second, I'll get you guys in a different spot so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, here we got the caliper. This is the back side of it. There's a bolt right here. And it's got red thread lock on it for a reason. You do not want these coming loose. Caliper comes off, hoop-de-doo, you got no brakes for a few pumps. So, very important. These need to be locked up when we put them back in. Let's, the second guy is under here. Hopefully you can see that. Let's get this off. Another one. Okay, I know this this bouncing the camera around thing is not good, but okay. You should be able to lift your caliper right off like that. Now comes the fun part. We have to beat the snot out of this to get the hub off. So I'm going to put you guys down for that. Okay, let's see if that works. It is moving. You can see it is cracking loose. This thing is just insanely, insanely tight. I get it. They're under enormous torque. So that's pretty much the way it has to be. Let's see if, yeah. See, I can move it now. Couldn't move it before. It's loosening up on the bearing. I am going to turn the wheel a little bit so I can get at this easier while you guys are watching me. Maybe. No. Let's put this. All right, let's try that. Hopefully it doesn't shake the camera too much. You can see it is moving. The distance here. It is just not easy. It is in there tight. Yeah, this one was tough. So that's the first one I've had to use the puller on. Yeah, you might want to have a 2 or 3 jaw puller handy just in case. Now, very important, there's a washer behind here. Let's get this guy safely up here. And keep all of your parts organized. It's going to make things much, much easier if you do that. All right, now we're ready for a trip underneath to get this bottom ball joint off. And 1 second. Now, before you come under here, you want to bring your 19. You want to bring some pliers. Get that cotter pin out of there. And a hammer, because this is tight. Should be tight. This is holding your entire front end together, so where am I going to put you guys? Maybe clamp you on the creeper. Hopefully that works. Okay, got this. I apologize for the shakiness. You're clamped to a rolling creeper. There, that was easy. I hate those pins, they're terrible. Okay, let's get this guy off. Also a washer. Okay. Now, the sometimes fun part. There. That broke her loose. That is hardly ever easy, and it shouldn't be. So, okay, now we can get up topside again. Right, okay, now guys, what we want to do is grab your favorite tie strap. What we want to do is tie onto here, undo this shock, and then lift everything up. So there is a reason we left this shock on until now. It's holding everything in place. Once you take this shock off, everything's going to want to crash. So get your strap on first. And I don't know if you can see it. Come on over here. There's a brace in here. like to go through here. It's a good solid grab there. Now just go up. Right here at the top, there's a nice frame mount right there. That's more than sturdy enough to hold this thing. Now we're going to need our 17s. Wrench and socket, or 2 wrenches if you like. It's up to you. Okay, let's get this. There. See it sink. Out of here, and I'm just going to put this back in loose so it doesn't get kicked around or lost. I like to do that where I can. You can't always do that, taking things apart, but it's a good idea. You'll never lose things because, hey, there's the bolt to hook that up. Now, what we're going to do is lift this guy somewhat, and I'm gonna have to readjust the camera here in a second, but we'll get there. Okay, we're up. We're up to almost where ride height should be. Oh yeah, this caliper here, I'm gonna probably put a bolt back in here. Actually, I'm gonna do that now. Just loose. 1 second, I got nowhere to put the camera. There. Caliper's just sitting there nice and loose, but you don't want to put too much stress on these cables. They will take a fair bit of abuse. They take rocks, they take crap and everything, but you don't want to kink or bend them too much. Okay, I have to find a really good place for you guys. Maybe here. Should work. Okay, what we're gonna do is wiggle our CV shaft out like so. There, did you see that? Twist it full extension and it should just pop right out the side there. Now we're done with this. For now, I'm going to grease the bearings before we put it back together. But for now, let's just get rid of everything as much as we can. Which is a pain with one person, but it can be done. All right. I'm gonna get some light. You guys can see it decent, but yeah, give me a minute. I'm gonna get some light in here so you can really see what I'm doing. Get this CV out and these plates off. All right, let's get this packed. It's gonna be messy. That's about the only sure thing about this. It's messy. Okay, that's about as good as it's gonna get. Doesn't matter what you do, you're gonna spill a lot of oil. Just try to minimize the best you can, I guess. Okay. Let's get these popped off. There. Now, let's clear a little space here. Now we're going to take our hard plastic hammer and keep a little outward pressure on it. Now you got to be gentle with these. This is just cast aluminum. Just tap everything to loosen it up. There, it's coming. It's a bit of a process, but I think I'm going to move this camera. I can't really get in there the way I should be able to. There, hopefully that works. There, it's coming. Sorry if you can't see there, guys, but I gotta wiggle both ends. There. There's a dowel at the back that just wants to fight you. So, that's off. Bearing's in good shape. Let's set this guy aside on a clean surface. All right, there we go, guys. So, this plate here has too much play in it. That is why it doesn't shift properly. And this pin needs to be replaced. And this gear here. So, let's get these guys out of here. We're going to pull this pin. We're going to bring this gear out. That is the culprit right there. Okay. Over onto the bench. And here we are on the bench, guys. Here we have our old pin and new pin. Pretty much the same other than length. Let's yeah, the new pin is just a hair longer, which would eliminate slop and everything, so I get that. Here's our shim. There's 3 shims in here. I think there's a 5, 6, and 7 thou shim. And there we gotta, I'll show you, we gotta do the plate to stop it from wobbling. Now these gears, you can pretty much see that the new one has more meat in these cogs. Or I hope the camera picks it up. It's just beefier. But any difference is going to be an increase in strength. So we're going to put this guy in. We're going to throw our shift fork in with the new pin. Then we're going to shim this. And I believe it's reassembly time. Okay, we've got our new pin in the shift fork. And we got the fork seated in the gear. Spline, or not splines, the teeth go in. So I know you guys can't see what I'm doing, but that's the way it's got to be right now. There. Just make sure that's seated. Bottomed out, and there we go. That's where the new gear goes. All right, next we have to get this shift plate out. Let's get our Allen in there. There. Yeah, I'm gonna have to block you guys off for a minute. Now, this is going to be a little trial and error because we have to get the shim, when this is fully tightened, we have to get the shim that still allows this to move free, but no wobble. So, let's try. They recommend the 6, which is the middle shim. Let's try that first. Okay, here we are. We're going to try this shim here. That on there. Oh wow. That has like almost no wobble. But it still moves nice and free. That way, not this way. I think that's our shim. Yeah, so we're going to pull that out. We're going to get a little bit of locker on it. Now you have to play with this plate to get the shoulder of the bolt over the plate itself. There, that was easy. There. Now we're going to snug that down. It wasn't incredibly tight to begin with. Remember, this is aluminum. Just nice and snug. And look at that. That has got like almost zero slop side to side, but it's still very easy to move up and down. Fantastic. Okay, well, now we're going to want to clean our mating surfaces as very best we can. Get all this old oil out of here so it doesn't screw up the gasket, or not the gasket, the gasket maker. So I'm going to get this cleaned up and get the face cleaned up, and I'll be back. Okay guys, we got our piece all nicely gasketed here. We're going to try to finagle this in there carefully. And I can already see this is going to be awkward. Yep, this is definitely going to be awkward. Okay, let's give it a try. Okay, we're on the dowels. Now, let's make sure everything's sitting right. There. I want to make sure this is moving free. This guy is right down. Yeah, we're in. Oh, actually wasn't too bad. That's down. That's down. You can just tell by the sound of it, it's not hollow, it's a solid sound. Yeah. Diff gear is moving nice and free. diff lock, I should say. That guy's completely down. We're good. Okay, bolts. Okay, well, they're in there now. We want to torque them down to 80 inch-pounds. Now, the manual doesn't give any particular order, but as a rule, you want to start in the center and work your way out. So if it is bowed, you're not forcing a bow into the center. Does that make sense? Push the center in first, then push out, then push out. We're just doing a rough tighten here, not cranking them down just yet. Okay, now inch-pounds. There we go. This guy. And there we have it, 80 inch-pounds. Now, to reverse the order, the actuator can go back in. This guy, see it has a mark on it? It wants to be pointing at the R. So you're going to line up right. Now, I'm going to try to finagle this. There we go. Get rid of that wire. Now you want to go in straight. You don't want to twist it. You want to go in straight with these holes, or you could be a tooth off. And then you're going to have to take everything all apart again. So, let's get it seated. I would say that went in pretty straight. Okay, we'll get that snubbed down. Okay, we're back. My battery quit. we go. Torque her down. £80 inch, same as everything else. Now, this is the part where, let's see, we want to put our CV back in and test this thing. Okay guys, so we're going to put the CV back in. Now, give it a good coat of grease, and the seals, give them a little bit of loving right there. And the outer edge. Yeah, don't be shy. The grease won't hurt a thing. There we go. Okay, now let's get our CV back in there. Get everything lined up. There we go. It has to go back it has to go through that locker we just put in, and then into the center splines. So make sure you got it into both of them. And give it a good, just like that. It's in. So now, the big test. What we're gonna do, well, what I'm gonna do is wash my hands before I touch anything in the interior. Okay guys, here we go. We've got the case and everything back together, the CV's in, and what we're gonna do is come around here. Yeah, I know my interior is destroyed. Okay, we're in 2-wheel drive. Let's go into 4-wheel. Now we're gonna have to probably move this tire a little bit. Did you hear it? Now we're engaged. See that? 4-wheel. Now, diff lock. Let's see. Did you hear it? We are in diff lock. And let me tell you, that has never happened that easy. 4-wheel. Diff lock. 4. Diff. That is fantastic. Okay, we're gonna go back to 2-wheel drive. That is awesome. This thing has never gone into diff lock without a huge fight. So, bravo for this kit. That is fantastic. So, we are down to reassembly, but first, but wait, there's more. I'm going to show you, since we have these bearings out, how to grease these bearings. And this isn't just for KRX. I've done this for years on all my quads, everything. Try to make these bearings last because they are expensive. Now, there's lots of places to get these, but I bought this. This is a bearing greaser. In between these O-rings, it forces grease through here, there, and it opens up the split in between these bearings and shoves grease in there. So what you do, shove it all the way in. So all you need, that's plenty. That is plenty. Now this is an electric DeWalt greaser. If you're on one of the old manual ones, you probably don't even need 2 or 3 pumps. They pump more per pump. And that's it. That bearing is greased and ready to go. You can get these things almost anywhere. Royal Distributing has them, I believe. I was there the other day. I'm sure I've seen them. Like I said, Marked Motorsports. I think I got my quad ones from just plain old Amazon. Now they are vehicle specific. These are big friggin' bearings. This is KRX. I don't think any other machine has this size of bearing. So if you got a Polaris or a Honda, Yamaha, what have you, make sure you get the right greaser so it's going to fit those bearings. Wow, I am happy about that. That is fantastic. So we're down to reassembly, which is basically reverse of what we did. Don't forget to put your oil back in. That's for sure. So next, the cover. I'm gonna put all this together. I'm gonna let the gasket maker cure for a bit. So I'm gonna put this all back together, then put the oil in. But yeah, don't forget that oil. So I guess yeah, that's it. This is awesome. It's gonna be great to have diff lock on demand. Well, I think that's about it, guys. We pulled it off. I'm knocking things over. Yeah, that is great. The diff lock actually works. Fantastic. So to reverse our order, put this back to the way it was, easy peasy. Now, don't forget your locker on your caliper bolts. And it's pretty simple going back. If you need to know the torques, hit the comment section. I have the full manual here. I can tell you what torques everything's supposed to be. But other than that, it's simple. It's a little intimidating. People think there's demons in the diff or something. It's not that bad. They're not that complicated once you know what's going on in there. It's not bad. So for now, let's smash that subscribe and let's get this done. I got a ride tomorrow. Let's get after it.